Hi everyone, this is Natasha. I was asked to share my recipe for stuffed peppers, which was on this week's menu. It was on the menu for yesterday, but I was sidelined with not feeling well, so I just went to bed and instead of making it tonight. So I have 4 peppers, which I have already beheaded, and I am saving that to chop up to put inside the mixture. And they're all standing up pretty well on their own. This one's just a little lopsided, but I don't mind that. So I don't need to cut anything on the bottom. And I'm going to put them in the microwave for, I'm going to start off with 2 minutes. And then I'm going to touch the flesh to see if it has any give. I don't want them to fall apart. I don't want them to fall down because I need to stuff them. But I don't want all the cooking to have to happen in the oven because all the other components are going to be cooked like 90% of the way. So let me just close the video for a second. La 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 la. So I have the ground beef sauteing. I already have the rice like 90% cooked, and I happen to have a little bit of jasmine rice left, which is what I used. You can use basmati, you can use short grain rice. Just cook it to directions, leaving it just a little shy of being done because it'll continue cooking in the oven with the rest of the juices. So I'm gonna cook up the meat, drain off all the fat, and place the crumbled meat in a separate container. And then on the same pan I will saute the onions, peppers, and carrots, and then I'll combine all of the stuff together and add a can of diced tomatoes, no sodium added. I found a can in the mudroom in our pantry. And then it should be the consistency that I want. I'll start adding more flavoring, Worcestershire sauce, salt, black pepper, a little bit of garlic, and then we'll see where we go from there. So I'll show you along the way. So there are the veggies all sauteed up. It's the pepper caps. I found a little piece of red pepper in the fridge, so I added that. Onions, a little bit of carrot. I'm getting ready to add the stewed tomatoes. No sodium. I'm going to let this saute for a little bit. Oh, you're getting fogged out. I'm going to mix this up, saute, let it simmer for a little bit to develop a little more flavors, and then I'll combine, there's the meat that I have drained and the rice, and then I'll start tasting for flavor. That's when I'll add the Worcestershire sauce and any more salt or pepper. So as you can see, the vegetables have stewed down just a little bit. So the easiest place to add a liquid flavoring is into liquid rather than into a solid, like say the meat. So I'm going to add the Worcestershire in here. And I'm going to taste the salt after I've added the Worcestershire because, for those of you who don't know, Worcestershire has anchovies, which are often salt cured. And because I'm doing this family style, I'm totally going to taste it off the spoon because it's my family and it's my cooties. Worcestershire's good. Definitely need some more black pepper. It's good on garlic. Definitely good on the salt. And remember, I've flavored each of the elements. So let's see what that looks like in a few minutes. So I have the oven preheating on 375. It's got 3 minutes to go. This stewing vegetables are just about ready. I've taken out the peppers. They have just a little give to them. They're still, hold up nicely. This took a total of 6 minutes for these 4 peppers on 1,000. That's 1,400 watt, 100% wattage for the setting. I did drain out any of the liquid from the inside. They're nice and solid still on the bottom, so they're just waiting to be filled. Obviously I'm not going to bake in this. I have to get my baking dish out, and I'll just maybe spray the bottom a little bit to make sure that nothing sticks to the bottom. And then I am going to need another can of the diced tomatoes to put on top after I put the filling together. So I'm going to go grab a big bowl and I'll start combining all of these ingredients so we could stuff the peppers and put them in the oven to bake. And the baking is really kind of the caramelization of everything together and marrying all the flavors, because As you can see, all the elements are cooked separately. And I do recommend cooking the vegetables separately rather than putting in with the meat, because otherwise it will just stew instead of develop some nice caramelization flavors. See my little helper clean the dish that I had the meat in, and I used a non-coated paper plate which wicked away any fat, which it was actually very lean meat. So I have the ground beef at the bottom, the veggies, and the rice. The only thing I'm adding additionally is chopped parsley. And I am going to have to put the camera down and turn it off for a minute just to mix everything, and then I'll see if it needs any more liquid. I might add just a little bit of chicken broth, but we'll see what that looks like in a second. Well, there it is, all mixed up, so I am going to taste this, and it has plenty of moisture. I don't need to add any more stock. I don't need to add any other flavors. So as you can see, I used, I think I started off with 1.5 pounds of ground beef, a cup of the jasmine rice, and probably about a cup of the vegetables. It makes a lot more than I need for the 3 or for the 4 peppers. So whatever's left over, I'm going to put it in a freezer. So cute. Freezer ready container. And save it for when I need something for stuffing. It's going to be all ready for me. I almost stuck my finger in my eye, and I need to remember to wash my hands because I have garlic, onions, and a little bit of hot pepper on it. So I'll show you what they look like when they're stuffed and ready to go in the oven. Would you believe that's all that's left from all that stuffing? Because look, these are nice and full. And that's definitely 2 meals for the 2 of us. So we'll have them today and maybe the day after, or a couple of, in a couple of days. Or I'll just take the 2 fully cooked ones and wrap them for the freezer for emergency meals. So there you go. I'm going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top and pop them in the oven. I was going to put tomato sauce in there, but I decided against it. I think what it'll do is it'll start to break down the peppers, and I kind of like the way that they're all whole. And there's plenty of moisture in the mixture. So I'll show you what they look like before they go in the oven and then when they come out. There you go. There's less than a tablespoon for all 4 peppers of the grated Reggiano, what kind is it? Parmesan. Yeah, 100% grated Parmesan. No fillers. So it's going in the oven. I'm going to check in about 10 minutes. That gives me plenty of time to clean up all the dishes that I used today, and I used a lot more than I like. So I will show you what the stuffed peppers look like when they come out. And I will definitely take pictures because sometimes stills tell a better story, and I'll have the full recipe on my blog. There you go. Peppers are ready out of the oven. They were in there for about 15 minutes. Nicely crisped up on top, still juicy, and there's no mess at the bottom. Really nice. And they can be eaten at room temperature too. So I'm just waiting for hubby to get home. I'll take some pictures, post it on my blog. There you go. Crispy top, juicy inside. As always, don't forget to thumbs up. It helps me out, and it's absolutely free and painless for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask below. I'll be more than happy to reply. Thanks for watching, everyone.